I was expecting, but I certainly was not expecting that. That is something else. We flipped. We did flip. It was not a great show of humanity. Rain, and more rain. There was a big East Coast low coming in. Last night was fun. Awesome. Check it out. Yeah, boat talk, bit of boat talk. So, that's Ford roadside assist. Having fun yet? What a rough night. Quick little expensive stopover at Sullivan's Cove. I went in there, my buddy recommended this to me, Daniel San. He said, you gotta go to Sullivan's Cove. He said, it's phenomenal, best whiskey in the world. And I was, you know what, I believed him, but at the same token, I don't know what I was expecting, but I certainly was not expecting that. That is something else. I've never even tasted whiskey that tastes like that. That kind of, yeah, sort of flipped my idea of whiskey on its head, big time. And I love drinking whiskey and drink quite a lot of them, but that was, yeah, something else. And we ended up getting one of their sort of special bottles, which I am absolutely stoked and gonna try. Yeah, Kate's saying happy birthday, babe. That's it. But yeah, pretty excited. I'll show you. So yeah, unreal, stoked. He also gave us a little tester of something that's going to be very pricey, as yet unreleased, for us to drink on our last night in Tassie. So that was a really cool little thing, hey, super nice. Anyway, make sure you come and check this place out. Well worth it if you're a whiskey man. Right, we are in Swansea. We got here yesterday, started blowing a gale that rained most of today. It's actually sort of relatively fined up to not a bad afternoon. Nice little sort of sunset cracking over the back there. Good view here. There's awesome beachfront sites down the front, but they're all sort of like this. So we got in, tried to balance, couldn't balance, started raining. And we were like jockey wheeling up, down, block in, block out, back on the car, jockey wheel down, back up, back up. I tell you what, honestly, Kate and I, by the end of it, we were just about to absolutely, we flipped. We did flip. It was awful. There's no footage from yesterday, but let me tell you, it was not a great show of humanity. Not a great show of humanity at all. It was really dodgy. And we like both had the shits massively. And then woke up, Katie's tried to do all the washing. We've currently got the washing in the games room strung up between the rafters because the owners were nice enough to let us dry our in there. So we've taken over that. It's a shanty town in there. I've been editing most of the day, putting together the next episode, and we're a bit bummed because we're here and we're supposed to be doing Freycinet, I don't know. I have no idea. Sorry for not saying it right. And it's just over here, right? Like we'd planned to be here for 3 or 4 days and it's just not that great. And apparently there's a low off the coast here, and tomorrow it's gonna be 25 to 30 knots or something, and just rain and more rain. So I said, oh, let's bail. Let's go early over to Strawn, go over the west coast and just suss it out and see how we go. And Kate's, I don't know what's happening at the moment. So it's all a bit up in the air, but we figured why would we stay here on the beach and try and battle through, you know, huge winds, horrible weather, rain and all the rest of it. We may as well go maybe somewhere it's a bit more protected and see how we go. So yeah, a lot of confusion at the moment. But anyway, seems like a nice enough place. and about to cook up some salmon and yeah, have another cruisy night. Hope maybe do a bit more editing. Got to get this episode done. Run to the pump because we did nothing last week. We just hung out with old mate Phil. Bloody good though. So yeah, we'll see what we see. Hopefully we see some stuff, but yeah, maybe just resigning ourselves to the fact that the weather is going to be bad. It's horrible at the east coast at the moment. Terrible floods, and man, heart goes out to those crew. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens down here. Might get the tail end of it. So stay tuned. So here we are in Hamilton. It's not too bad. We're in a little sort of RV sort of spot, as you can see in the background, and it's a nice willow tree, and I think we can have a fire, and it's kind of cold, so that's good. We were chatting to the Vaggabonds on Insta, and we were going to head to Strawn in a few days anyway and go to the west coast before heading back up to catch the boat and see some penguins, hopefully at Penguin. So we're like, well, let's just bail early. Yeah, so we're here for the night and we're gonna suss it out and see how we go. So a few beers down, feeling pretty good. Dinner's almost ready. Might light the fire. Happy days. Hamilton, not bad. For a little $5 community camp or whatever you call it. Fresh water, little creek down here. It's good times.
We paint the streets like we've painted the walls. I love the sound of the tree. We chase the hearts that became like our mothers. I caught the silence.
Oh, mate, it's been raining all day and Kirk's currently out in the rain washing his truck, and Katie and Katrina are inside the van, and the kids are watching a movie. Everyone's popping popcorn. Dad's on the computer out here doing work. It's been a pretty lazy rainy day for the children. They've just been playing heaps, and everyone else has been trying to get work done because the kids have been playing so well together, and we're just trying to get everything sorted. So yeah, all going well so far, and hoping to have dinner at the pub and hoping that the rain stops soon. Fingers crossed. Here I'm doing a best of reel, or trying to, of the last 6 months, and there is just so much footage. It is absolutely stupid, and it's just stuff from everywhere. So now I've got 35 minutes of what I feel is the best, and I have to now trim that down. It's going to be interesting.
Feel like home again. Feels like I'm holding. This is holding us up. How can I wait as we whisper our orders? Awkwardly silent but sweet. Into the hearts of the ones that adore us. Secretly finding.
Isn't this just the ultimate?
Feel like home again. Feel
last night was fun. Awesome. Check it out. The mess we made. Yeah, boat talk, bit of boat talk. Last night, trying to get out of the low-lying area, didn't really go as planned. Car didn't want to make it up the hill. Driveway had turned to mud, was absolutely feral. So we had 2 attempts at that, and then ended up skidding up here across the grass and sort of sliding sideways down the road here, trying to get traction because the back wheels just hit this bit and just slid. So this is like pitch black, rain, just, yeah, it sounds, I don't know if it sounds intense, but at the time it was super intense and I was just peaking. Not how I expected my first muddy caravan sort of experience would go in the night, trying to avoid possible floodwaters, and learn some really valuable lessons, i.e. if it is a low-lying area, then make sure it's not going to be a difficult exit. That really should be quite self-explanatory, but I've never done this. I didn't think about it. We drove in and it was gravel, and when we left it was just feral and wet and soppy and mud. So yeah, there's a free tip that I've learned. And we had the Vaggabonds with us, and they were down there also, and after he saw me try to get up the drive, he's like, oh man, I don't know if the truck, they haven't really done much off-roading with the truck or anything in the mud or anything. And so when he's like, oh, I think I'll just go up the grass, looks like a safer line, and literally he just walked up it. That thing is an absolute weapon. So now I want a truck. Can we get one, babe?
No.
Please?
Yeah.
You said yes! You said yes, we can get a truck. So anyway, today I'm hoping we're going to get to see the wall at Derwent Bridge. We're going to keep travelling with the Vaggabonds for a bit because it's fun and they're good people. And also, I think the kids just get on so well. They're just so stoked to hang out with each other each day. So yeah, it's lovely. They just sort of spend a lot of time together, and we get a bit of a break as well, which is nice. Anyway, we better go do the dump point, and yeah, we better get some of the mud off the old girl because she's covered in it. You ready? It's that bloody thing. So that's Ford roadside assist, and we are here in Ouse, I think it's called, and we had an engine light come on, plugged in the forescan code tool, the forescan tool that I got from Stuart Brown at Forescan in Melbourne, who has been an awesome help for us in the past, and it's coolant pump B. The circuit relay is stuck off, apparently. So I think what that means is that it can't actually deliver the coolant when the engine demands it if it's under load, and considering we're towing and pretty much always towing, that's a bit of a problem. And they said pretty much get to a dealership as quickly as you can, and that means that they're sending out a roadside assist person, and from what I understand, we might be able to give it a tap and, you know, see if the impeller is stuck or something's going on there, or whether any of the relays might be wet or dirty or otherwise that they can fix. But not really safe to continue towing at the moment, particularly now that we've been informed and told that that is the issue. So yes, interesting times. Waiting to find out now. They're probably going to come out, look at it and say, yep, that's good, drive it to Hobart, or we're going to have to put it on a truck and tow the entire lot down there. Bit of a bummer, but I suppose it happens along the way. It's not all beer and skittles, but interestingly and ironically, we are broken down next to a pub. So Every cloud has a silver lining, doesn't it now?
Do you have any questions for me?
Can he fix it?
You'll certainly try.
Looks like we are waiting. Old mate's up in New Norfolk, and that's just over an hour away. So, yeah, there's a pub just there. I think I already mentioned that. I got it on the brain, don't I? Jeez. What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with him?
My first thought would be a lot.
Anyway, after such a good run, like we got out of the bloody trouble last night, everything was good, everything's going well, and then this popped up, and it wasn't last night that did it, because the fault code actually read 300 kilometres ago, but only obviously displayed an engine light today for some weird reason. So anyway, we'll see how we go. If waiting for roadside assist, turn on your hazard lights, move to a safe place. Yep, got it. Happy days. Also, did you see this? Look at this. This is Uluru. Look at the waterfalls coming down. How sick is that? Unreal. Like, there's definitely some beauty in amongst all the tragedy with all these floods and the rain and everything at the moment. And let's hope that this means we're going to see Lake Eyre in flood. Fingers crossed. Off they go. The proud explorers, the vagabonds, with our children and our pride. Loving the truck journey. Off to Launceston, and we will meet them there. Tell you what, they are some seriously beautiful people, the Vaggabonds. They're just like, don't worry about it. So what happened, long story short, let's kind of try and condense it, because it's just been about 30 phone calls. So I didn't end up in Launceston because we didn't want to be down in Hobart. We've been down there, we wanted to be further away from the boat. Hobart wasn't answering the phone, before this wasn't really answering the phone, so we were kind of struggling there, everything was getting really challenging, and we worried how long it would take if we didn't answer the phone. So basically what ended up happening is the tow trucks that they could find were only single cab. We wanted to get to Launceston. The Vaggabonds were like, hey, look, we're happy to sort of take the kids up to Launie, and if you're happy with that, then we can meet, then you guys can meet us up there with the caravan, blah, 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 blah. Everything was just getting super hard. Oh, this is the short version, by the way. So basically they're like, look, we'll just go, we'll take the kids, and then we'll meet you guys there this evening, and, you know, fingers crossed that it all works out, happy days. They've just left. God love them, the kids are all in the back, they can fit 4 across the back seat in that awesome truck. Katie and I are now pulling everything out of the car. We got to prep the battery system, obviously, to sort of be, you know, unplugged or whatever for a period of time, and power everything down, get all the camera gear out, and, you know, basically repack all that somehow into the car, into the van. And yeah, so we've got our work cut out for us this afternoon. We've got another couple of hours or so before the truck arrives, so yeah, you don't expect this stuff's gonna happen. Well, not so soon into the trip, as Katie said. She's like, oh, I didn't think it'd happen so soon, but it's happened. We've got to deal with it, and I'm just very grateful that we have some, you know, lovely friends that we just met on the road that are just, yeah, beautiful people, and very helpful and very kind. So I'm already G'ing it up. I'm like, yeah, we'll take you to dinner at the Blue Cafe. The Blue Ink Cafe in Launceston, and we'll have a beautiful touched by fire dinner. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be good times. So, yes. Hi. Anyway, I better get to work. Katie's cleaning out the car. Oh, hang on. Here's something interesting.
I just pulled all this rubbish out from behind the kids' car seats. Bloody revolting.
There's a smashed bottle in there and everything.
Oh no, I was trying to hide that. No, that.
Oh, trying to hide it. Look out, go, run! Get it.
Got it.
Classy. So, anyway, the pack up begins, and Launceston, here we come. So what's left to do? I've just unplugged the lithium, accidentally arced it against the canopy and nearly melted myself, so that was interesting. Scared the crap out of me, that's for sure. And now we're at this establishment. Look out. A few froths before we hit the road. Hit the road. fun yet? Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's probably fair as well, you know, like maybe take it in turns one night a week, something easy, I don't have to think, I just do it.
Women in general have more of an understanding as to, yeah, I'll get that,
Yeah.
stuff, doesn't it? Hey?
You think it?
God. Salt, earth and sun. Follow the journey. It was a f***ing journey. It was a horrible thing that happened tonight, but it was still like an adventure.
There was actually a fair few laughs in the tow truck on the way back. It was pretty random, and we had some like good chats, and Katie said some inappropriate things, I said some inappropriate things, and our tow truck driver said some inappropriate things. It was, you know, all in all, you'd notch that up as a good night any other day of the week, but
Yeah. The van being towed off.
mate, it's just
fun.
we're just over it. And we got in, and the caravan park man didn't want us to drive the tow truck through the
Fair
park,
call too, though,
and
fair
he's just
call.
like, it'll be too noisy, so we're sort of just like parked across 4 sites at the moment, just like Katie poured me a cup of port in the
It's not port, it's ruby.
port whatever.
Call it port.
Oh, it's whatever. It's fortified wine. Fortified wine. Oh god.
20.
Oh,
I love it.
Galway pipe.
Having a glass of Galway pie.
Look at all of the awards.
So many awards. Well, cleaned my Galway pipes out, tell you what. I'm done. Don't have another one before bed. We're going to bed, woman. It's 12 o'clock. I'm going to sleep. Anyway,
Hold me down.
I am. I'm clipping those wings like a budgie that wants to fly.
I'm a canary. I'm a canary.
She's a black cockatoo is what she is. Ah, she loves cockatoos. Anyway, bedtime. I'm done. We got to go get our children early tomorrow morning, save them from the Vaggabonds before Ada wakes up and does her morning poo. And poor Katrina has to deal with it in the van. So we better be on top of things. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. Signing out. What a rough night. At least we've got the van now, and hopefully tomorrow we get a hire car and we're back on the road to some extent. Well, here we are. This is Longford Caravan Park. It's a council-run facility. Nice, down by the river here. Van's up there. I woke up this morning. Thank God, Katrina and Kirk helped us. The kids stayed there with them last night, and they were just absolutely wonderful. Kirk moved the van for us this morning, and now they're moving up to us. And they're moving up to us because this beautiful river here, this beautiful river is currently in flood, and apparently the level that it's at now, it's already come up 30-40 centimetres, and it's going to come up another 4 metres. So we've got our car in at Ford. We don't really have a way to tow our van. We're at high ground, and we've been told, no, water comes up, but when it laps at the wheels, just hold your nerve. It won't come any higher. Just hold your nerve. That's interesting. So yeah, anyway, I'm not really hold my nerve when the floodwaters are rising kind of guy. A bit more cautious than that, but I think today our options are limited because we don't have a tow vehicle. The Ranger is in at Ford. I haven't looked at it yet. Hopefully, maybe they'll get to look at it before the end of the day. They haven't made any promises. The waters are rising. It's just, you know, slightly intense. I can't say it feels entirely comfortable at the moment. Yeah, can't say that at all. It's definitely, you know, you whatever, you got to take it with a grain of salt, I suppose, but it's just like not having the car, like I've got no tools, I've got to put the stone guard back on and all this stuff. No tools, you know, little things I didn't think about to grab out of the vehicle. Got all the cameras and lenses though, you know, that's important. But you got to be grateful, I suppose, for the little things. You know, we've been helped by a lot of people, and tonight, beautiful thing, very excited, we get to go back to the Blue Ink Cafe, so I'm really pumped on that. And also just had a chat with the head chef there, Felix, who I'm a big fan of his work, and I think we're probably going to do a little shoot on Sunday just to get some you know, get some interesting footage, quite inspired by the chef's table stuff, which is just stunning if you've seen it on Netflix. And yeah, so that'll be fun just to sort of have a creative outlet and sort of explore some of that with him, and yeah, maybe learn a thing or two from the master. So yeah, very cool. Anyway, I better go and get back to life. There's a lot to do today and a lot to organise, and beautiful place here. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like underwater. So, have a look at this. Pulled out all the stops. Got onto the assistant service manager at Jackson Ford here in Launceston this morning. Her name's George, and she basically just got to work, and I don't know how it happened, but they had the car, sussed out the codes, and I think they had it all sorted, and now it's ready to go. So basically there was like something wrong with the pump, and they also did a warranty thing on it. So now I'm here to pick it up, and literally it's been not even 24 hours since it was put on the freaking tow truck. How good is that? Cannot say I'm unhappy. I'm very surprised too, because I thought I was thinking we're gonna miss the boat and we'd be mucked around here for a while. So anyway, good times. There she is, Bessie. Big deal. Loves it. Ready to go. We got Bessie back. We got Bessie back. And because Katrina and Kurt were such awesome, amazing, helpful people, we were like, let's take them out to dinner. We'll go to Blue Ink. It's a good opportunity. I know, where else? If you're in Launceston, where else would you go? So we're heading back in, and yeah, excited. Should be good. Who's hungry?
Oh, I like it.
Well, so we've woken up to complete flood this morning. And most of those sites down by the water are completely underwater today. And interestingly, where they initially had us parked is not like completely submerged, but well, it's not far off it. And I think the reality would have been that if we had been up there, then we at least would have been cut off from exiting the park.
The seats are almost touching the water over there.
And unable to leave if it did come up more. Oh, that's always good. The dump point is under. Well, that's not ideal, is it really? Because it's not a capped.
No swimming today.
Not a capped pipe, so it's probably not clean in there.
Oh look, someone stayed in their spot.
So there we go, hey?
Wasn't she lucky?
There's a barbecue.
Floodwaters. What do we do, Ada?
Is the tree still alive? It's sunny. Ah, we got the sun.
Okay, so today, smoked salmon. Now, we came into this salmon, interestingly, in a car park in a regional town where someone was like just handing out big chunks of salmon out of the back of a ute. Not entirely sure what the situation was, but I was like, oh sweet, how much? And they said, oh, I can't charge you for it, but here, have 3 big bits. I was like, okay. Is this hush salmon? It could have been hush salmon. I don't know. Maybe there was a bit of a racket we uncovered. I'm not going to go into details. I'm not mentioning any names. But hey, here's some salmon. So anyway, despite how we may have come into this alleged hush salmon, we're going to smoke it. And today I've basically just pulled it out of the brine solution, which is that brown stuff there. And that brine solution has salt, brown sugar, bit of garlic powder, bit of onion powder, and some soy sauce, the off soy sauce from the cupboard if you saw the stories from ages ago. And I think it'll be fine. It tastes pretty good to me. I don't think soy sauce can really go too bad because it's just so briny. So basically I've been soaking this salmon in that brine for about 24 hours now. And you can see it's kind of got like, kind of sucked some of the moisture out of it, and it's got like that sort of smoked salmon-y sort of look already. Now we're going to hot smoke it today on the barbie in hickory smoke using a little sort of thing of chips that I've been soaking since yesterday, so they should last for ages, which is good. But the thing that you need to do now basically is we need to take the salmon out, and it needs to form what's called a pellicle. And the pellicle is like a really sticky sort of layer on the outside of the fish, and that forms when you take it out of the brine and you just leave it to air dry at sort of room temperature. You don't want it too hot, but it's super cold and super damp today, so I don't know how we're going to go. But what I'm going to do now is I've just got the barbie out ready to smoke, and I'm just going to go put it out on a little trivet inside the barbecue and just let it dry in there without the barbecue on, of course. Just sort of, that thing, it needs to sit there for an hour or two until it's sort of tacky to touch and sort of sticky, and that's your pellicle, and that will help sort of protect the salmon while we smoke it. So yeah, we'll give that a go and check back in with it in a couple of hours, and hopefully it's ready to cook. So I've configured the barbecue how I think it's going to smoke, but I haven't turned anything on yet, and basically just using the pizza stone to isolate a cast iron pan from the heat, so because I don't want too much heat from underneath, and then putting a trivet and then putting the salmon. So hopefully that creates enough isolation that it doesn't get too hot. I want the smoke, but I don't want a lot of heat. I'd prefer more smoke than heat, but unfortunately I think we're kind of stuck with what we got here. So I'll probably just have to maybe preheat the stone and leave that in there while we do the chips. The chips have been soaking for like 24 hours in a little plastic container with the lid on. So I'm going to leave the salmon like that at the moment, so it forms the pellicle over the skin. I'm just going to shut the barbecue so that that stays out of the way of any pests or anything like that. I think the biggest risk in this whole process is that it's a complete failure, and I look stupid in front of everybody because I've been talking this up, so it's gotta work. Anyway, fingers crossed. That was pretty yummy, but I kind of overcooked it with the salt in the brine, and that could have been done a lot better. And consequently, even though it was a great pellicle and everything on the skin, the skin was really salty. So the big thicker bits of salmon were kind of all right because you have like more salmon and the skin is just a small portion of it. But any of the skinnier bits of salmon, which are normally great because you get heaps of smoke in those bits and stuff, not anywhere near as good. Like I would have hoped that was a lot better, but it was all right. Next time I got to follow the recipe because I didn't follow the recipe. I went from memory on the brine. So let that be a lesson to me. But tonight I'm going back to shoot some nice looking shots, hopefully, on the red at Blue Ink Cafe. No money's changing hands. I just really wanted to kind of do that justice properly, and I really enjoyed eating there, and I enjoyed the cooking that they have. You can kind of see them behind there. I was just like, man, I'd love to get in there and shoot that properly. So that's what's happening tonight. I'm going back there from 5:30 into a live dinner service for, geez, I don't know. I think it's going to be about 4 hours, and it's going to be pretty intense because it's going to be super busy. So that'll be interesting, and then maybe get to have a little interview with Felix afterwards. So yeah, looking forward to that. Should be interesting. So I better hit the road, get into Launceston, and get shooting.
You probably wouldn't get it. You know, when you're in front of the fire, you know, the mind just goes. It's like watching something growing and building. My brain's calm, my body's calm, and it's a feeling that you can't describe because that's when you lose yourself in that moment. I don't push myself to see a different menu, a different flavour, something new, then I get stuck. So the menu moves, the food moves, and as it's seasonal, it's easy to do it, you know, especially here in Tasmania. The farmers, the locals that bring in stuff. Our lamb from the owner, he farms the lamb that we use in the restaurant, and that's one of our signatures. Everyone's growing something, bringing it in, and we're using a lot of these ingredients that are very special to Tasmania, and Australia can't even see it unless they come down here. When the service hits and we've got so much going on, fish here, meat there, proteins, vegetables, people running, moving the whole time, it's crazy, but that's the beauty of it half the time. Our feedback and the locals that have come back time and time again, it really makes us so happy here. Going home, the mind's so relaxed because we know we've done a great job and we can see it on people's faces when they eat here.
Well, that was awesome. I'm sore, I'm tired, exhausted, and yeah, had just the best night. It was so sick to watch Felix cook, and even cooler to have all access to the kitchen and just be able to get in there and get close to the action and yeah, just film it all. And what a ripping evening. So big thanks to those guys because that's definitely been an awesome experience to cap off things on our last week here in Tassie. And yeah, I'll really enjoy putting all that together and hopefully creating something cool. So anyway, got some interesting shots tonight that I'm sort of really pleased with, and they're definitely pleased with. So yeah, can't wait to see how the final product looks. Good times, great night, great Saturday night, and all the drunken people that were here at the festival have gone home and the roads are empty again. So, good times. Home now, maybe for a nightcap with the missus, and hopefully everyone's still awake around the fire. Fingers crossed. Now we've all packed up this morning, got everything ready, and we're hitting the road. I actually don't know where to. I think we're going to go to the conservatorium or something of food and wine, which sounds fantastic. So I'm all about that. So I think we're going to go do that first and then see sort of what happens for where we stay tonight. Yeah, and then I think tonight, we just want a place with a fire so we can cook those ribs on the fire. The big ribeyes on the bone. Ew. So the kids are just playing in the park at the moment. We're all ready to go. The vans are all loaded, sorted, and happy days. Vans being our van and the Vaggabonds van. And yeah, I think it's time to hit the road. The kids are just playing in the park. Maybe get a coffee. I know there's a bakery just up here, so I could have a look at that too. Might be nice. But yeah, as to where we end up tonight, who knows? Home is where the heart is, eh? Alright, we'll see.
Do you see that big hill? Cradle Mountain.
We did it, buddy! Cradle! Hashtag cradle! Dude, it is epic here. No, it's video.